guys, it's your girl Lex, of course, checking in with Bossing Up with Lex on Winning Wednesday. That's right. And I got my girl in the building, Brittney White, the beauty engineer. You heard it,
Hey,
the
everyone.
beauty engineer. And I'm going to go ahead and let Brittney introduce herself to you guys.
Hey everyone, it's Brittney, the beauty engineer, and I'm here to talk to you guys today about how you can win over $100,000 in business grants.
And you heard that from Brittney herself, guys. I know you're going to be interested in this information that she's about to drop, all these jewels and gems. So make sure you get your notepads, get your pens, take as many notes as possible when she's dropping these jewels and giving you all this information. One thing I want to ask you, Brittney, in your career field that you're in with, helping women get funding with businesses, grants and things like that, how did you find yourself getting into that market?
Okay, so, and it's kind of piggyback off of another question, or something I want to discuss. So, when I first started my business, I used 100% liquid funds, like my savings, my money I had in my bank accounts, right?
Right.
And I discovered that there was actually free money out here for women businesses, for minority-owned businesses, for small businesses. So I actually, and when I was in a corporate setting, I worked for Supplier Diversity and Development, right? And I actually used to review opportunities for small minority-owned businesses to get opportunities. And so I had to, sometimes when you're in the flow of things as business owners, we don't stop and be strategic.
Right.
Because we're working
and running all the time.
Working and running. But I took a pause and I'm like, wait a minute. I did supplier development and diversity for over 10 years. I need to tap into that market. So when I started using my previous experience and tapping into that market, I saw there's millions of dollars in money that's actually getting given back because we're not even applying for it. So
right. Exactly.
We don't know about it. We don't apply for it. So if we're not applying for it, say some funds are being set aside for Black women in business and we don't apply for it, then they reallocate those funds to Hispanic women or to another group, right? So I started doing my research and I'm like, wow, it's a lot of money out here for us. So when I started doing the research, I started putting together a list and I started applying. And I started applying, like the first one I applied for, boom, I got it. I was like, oh, that was easy. Easy money.
Wow.
Easy money. Like I got this money. It was easy.
Right.
Don't have to pay it back. It's not business credit. They're not asking you to have a certain amount of money in your bank account to get it, for you to have a certain credit score in order for you to get it. This is money that people are set aside to help your business be successful, to help you sustain your business, to help you do new projects and initiatives, to help you do outreach in your community. This money is set aside for us to do that, but we have to apply for it.
Wow, sounds good. I gotta get with you, Brittney, so I can get some of those funds. Period. What has been like one of the most challenging things that you've endured or had to deal with running a business? What is like something that you can say like, dang, sometimes it made me want to throw in the towels?
Man. So I would say for me, as a newly divorced single mom of 4, the most challenging thing for me is not having a big support group, like a support system. Right?
Right.
Because as a business owner, as a mom, you wear so many hats, right?
Right.
And sometimes just, when you want to be the CEO of your business, you don't want to be the worker of your business, right? And that means you need help.
Right.
You need help, like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that requires you, like, I think of it this way, like your business is like your baby, right? And it takes a village to raise a child.
Right.
So it's no different when we're talking about our businesses. It takes a village. You need support.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't have a really large support system. And that's why when I do find groups or genuine, authentic people like yourself, I so appreciate it. And
thank you.
And give me 1 second. I wanted to. I wanted to give you your flowers.
Thank you.
I wanted to give you your flowers. moved over here. So it's been 3 years, right? And when I first moved over here, you were the first business owner that I met in the plaza. Right? And ever since then, like, we've been like this, right? Like, and you've been so genuine and so authentic, and you've been such a great support for me. Like, even when it's like just crazy stuff, I'm marching myself down here. I'm like, this is what they done did now. Right. But like, you can't do that with everyone.
Right.
You can't, because, I have my corporate friends, and you have different friends for different things. And I have my corporate friends and I have my friends for other, things. But they may not understand like business things.
Right.
Right. And sometimes I don't need you to create a solution for me, but I need you to empathize with me and to understand like this thing. And then, because we're in similar type businesses, we're in beauty businesses, you have more experience in it than me, you're able to provide me with insight. Like, girl, that happens. Girl, that's how it is. It ebbs and it flows. Girl, they're going to be drama. Girl, and it just gives me that comfort, because I can see, you've already been there. You already done that, and you push through. And I really admire that about you. And I mean, we've seen some hard times. This has been a very interesting time for us to be in business, and so
right.
It's like it's just like I can't even put like a value on. It's invaluable for me to have that support system, to be able to have you to call on. I really appreciate you.
You're welcome.
And for me, that's absolutely the most challenging thing, is just to have put those people in position to trust, be able to have people that are genuine enough that you can trust, be vulnerable with. Because, no one wants to say I'm struggling with something.
Exactly.
But we all struggle with things.
We all struggle. And we're in Atlanta, the big A. That's right. The big A. And everybody in Atlanta always make things look good. And sometimes we find ourselves having to try to fit in and make everything look good as well. But I've lived and I've learned, baby, you're going to have some good times. You're going to have some bad times. You're going to be up. You're going to be down. You're going to have promotions. You're going to have demotions. In the midst of the promotions and demotions is commotions, where things are going all kind of ways.
Crazy.
But you got to trust the process and believe that if God took me up, he took me back down and up again. Who is it me to question what God can do for my life,
Yeah, you got to trust the process.
Exactly. And that's a lot of people do not trust the process, because everybody's showing everything that looks good.
And they make it look like it's happening instantaneous, right? Because you can get caught up, you're on social media, you're seeing what people looking like they having all this motion and all this success and they're doing all these things,
right.
But we're running our businesses, so
But one thing I can tell you, people that got big motions don't got big overheads, don't got big bills. Big bills, big overheads, they don't got anything big. They don't even got big offices. It don't add up to me. 1 + 1 is 2. And, some of these things just don't add up to me personally. And I keep it real raw and uncut on Boss Talk with Lex. Of course, winning Wednesdays. But some of these things don't add up. So I like to tell my ladies, don't get sidetracked of watching what the next person have going on or the person beside you, because it might be their season. Then again, it might be big cap. You never know. But when it's your turn, when it's your turn to do what you have to do, you do it, and you do it like no other. You walk in the room knowing that I own this room. You walk in knowing that success is for me, but you have to have a positive mindset, a positive life, a positive mouth. You have to speak everything you want into existence. That's one thing I've learned. Now, Brittney, you own Salon Suites. Yes. What is the most bizarre, craziest, one of the weirdest things that you've experienced with having a salon suite? The most, and we keep it, like I said, real raw and uncut. Cause some people want to open salon suites right now that's watching us, our viewers, our followers. What advice, what is the situation that you was in?
And it's like, away?
Yeah, shoot, I'm about to throw in the towels with this, or I can't believe it went like this, or the success book wasn't wrote like this. But there's no book to success, There's no elevator to success. We can't just press, 5 and go to the top. We all start off at the bottom, and you got to work your way there. It's a staircase to success. And there's no way the staircase is going to go to straight up. Sometimes it's going to go straight up, to the right, to the left. It may turn you back down, but that's what you endure and, begin to see that happens in life, you know. But through the trials and tribulations that we all go through, we got to realize, like, we're going to have the good times, we're going to have our bad times. Mm-hmm. But am I willing to stand in there? And am I willing to really trust it and believe it? You know, and sometimes you got to win to lose, and sometimes you got to lose to win. Yeah. And that's how it is. So I tell...
And that's the part people don't want to... That's the part people don't want to digest. Exactly. They don't want to lose to win. They don't want to lose to win.
Nobody want to lose. But in life, when you're growing and you're going up, you got to understand there's wins and there's losses. Like, I haven't met anyone yet just went to the top off all wins. No. Because you learn from life lessons and losses. Yeah. And that's what's going to help you develop and grow and, you know, definitely keep going.
It builds character for sure. And then, like, I look at it as, you know, it's not a loss, it's a lesson. Right. It's a lesson. So with the salon suites, the most bizarre thing, so I can look at it from two angles. The most bizarre thing I've had as a salon suite owner, as far as a owner-tenant relationship, I actually had someone try to move in, like take residency inside of my suites. Like their home. Right. And I just had never experienced anything like that before. And I'm a very like loving and generous person. I'm a giver by nature. So I don't like seeing people in bad situations. Like my heart gets the best of me, you know. So, you know, I want to help people. Right. So situations like that are very hard for me, you know, because you have to, sometimes you got to put your big girl panties on and be a boss and, you know, be hard. Like, this is business. It's not personal. You know what I mean? But then, like, the mom in me, the woman in me, the giver in me is like, oh, you know, just let them stay a few days. And they ain't got nowhere to go. Yeah. No, but, you know, it got to a point of they were living there and they had moved their animals in as well. And
some of the little crawlies, little things that...
Dogs.
Multiple.
Barking while people are servicing clients.
No way.
I promise you, I kid you
I would
not.
tap baby on the shoulder. Come here, baby, let's have this talk.
I would not lie
because you got to keep it real with them. Like, hey, I got other people in here that's also paying, you know, rent along.
This can't be.
It can't happen. You know, I understand your situation. We all are put our, you know, in difficult situations and circumstances. But hey, this is a business at the end of the day.
And it was. If
you was at Walmart or you at Target working, you can't bring your puppy and you can't live there.
Yeah,
so
you can't.
You're gonna treat mine just like it's one of those, right? No matter how big it is or how small it is. And I always put myself, and I tell anyone I speak with, anyone I mentor, anyone I motivate, you always put yourself to the top. Mm-hmm. Don't never put yourself... I don't care if I'm sitting beside a billionaire. I'm going to speak my business. Big business. Exactly. Because if you get in that mindset of thinking small, you'll belittle yourself. And that's something I never do, is belittle myself.
And what I find funny about the situation is I feel like people, for whatever reason, they treat us black salon suite owners different than how they would treat a JC, a salon, my salon suites, a salon lofts. Like, they don't go on no white folks' business doing that. Right. But they see you're black owned, you're more involved. Like, they don't even know the owner of JC. Yeah, exactly. You know me. I'm the owner of this business. You know me. You interact with me. That's a privilege. That's an honor. You know, that's an opportunity, you know, but that you wouldn't get if you're at JC or one of these larger places. But so why are you treating me like
the
shit?
The crazy thing is that having salon suites for 10 years, put them in contract now. Contract, that paperwork, that black and white, that lawyer, don't play with them, period. Okay. If it ain't paid by this date, put them locks on the door. You got to treat them just how they treat them. You know, as African Americans, sometimes we tend to build relationships that's, you know, get personal. Oh, let's go out to eat. Let's go out to the club. Let's go to the bar. Let's do this. Let's do that. But business is business. You know what I'm saying? When it's time for business, business is business, and business is big to me. So I learned how to.
I forgot to tell you. Not only did they move in, they moved their significant other in as well, and they weren't paying.
So they might have a 2-bedroom suite.
And weren't paying. And was not paying they rent and got mad. Girl had a whole thing or deal when I said, you have to go.
Oh. Wow.
You have to go. That was one of the most, hands down, one of the most bizarre situations.
And that is really crazy. I never had that happen before. So that was really, really a hard situation. That was tough for me to hear you say that. That was very tough. Another thing I want to know, and I'm pretty sure my viewers and my audience, they all want to know, like, when you're teaching other women, because you do the grants as well and help women get funding, how is it being a teacher? How is it, encouraging and trying to inspire the next person, or telling them you got to follow these steps, but they may follow steps A and B and skip C and D and then go to, I forgot my alphabets.
No, but I already know where you're going with this, and that's real life. That's real life. So, for me, and it can be very frustrating. That can be very frustrating because I definitely have had situations where I'm giving you the blueprint.
Right.
If you follow the blueprint exactly how I'm giving you the blueprint, it's fail proof.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to do steps 1, 3, and 5 and not do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all the way through 8.
Exactly.
And then you want to complain that you're not getting the results that you would have gotten if you would have did 1 through 8.
And one thing I can piggyback off of teaching, or piggyback off of when people think, okay, I came and took her class, or I learned this, but I don't walk out, I don't feel like I'm her. You're not gonna be me, because it takes wisdom, knowledge, and understanding
you
to get to this level.
Me. It's like the meme that goes around.
I know 3 words: some will, some won't, and who don't, so what? So that's what I've learned. Like, stop putting your feelings into it. Like, if I train you to the best of my ability, give you my all, dropping the gems to you, showing you my technique, giving you my manuals, some of y'all will get it, some of you won't. And if you don't, so what? Because
you gotta pick up what I'm putting down.
It's not meant for everyone, But I give it my all, and when God sees and knows it's your all, He can't do nothing but continue to bless you.
Yeah, I give it my 110%. That's the thing. You give it your all. You set up your time. And before I started my Grant Academy, I was actually doing this at no cost.
Right.
So friends, family, I was giving the game free, no cost, because I was passionate about it. Hey, I found this. Do this. I've called you and like, let's do this. Make sure you do this. You don't be doing it.
Everybody know I'm hard-headed. I'm real hard-headed because I be really busy. So I don't like multiple business.
No, she busy.
I be busy. But I'm going to try to, get everything lined up back in order again.
But like, me. I'm trying to put my people on. I really, really, from the inner parts, truly want to see my people win. So even when I'm doing it as a part of the school, I want to see you win. It doesn't do me any good for you not to succeed.
Right.
So I'm not withholding any information from you or anything. But if you don't apply yourself, that's you. I can't control that. I can give you all that I have, and I can tell you exactly how to do it. But if you don't apply yourself, that's you.
Exactly.
That's you. I gave you everything. I gave you the recipe.
Mm-hmm. And that's like taking someone to the water.
Can't make them drink.
You
can't make them drink.
And that's a bar. I can take you to the water, but I can't make you drink. And that's real. That's real talk. That's real boss talk on Winning Women Wednesdays. That's right. What is your project that you're working on right now that you're most passionate about? What did you what's new? What you're excited about that you want to share to the ladies and gentlemen that's watching? What do you want to drop to them?
So my passion project right now is my 100K in 100 days.
Woo! 100K in 100 days. That's like us running a 100K run in 100 days.
Got to run it up. So, right. And it's very possible because a lot of you can't think small, right? The verse. So as a man thinketh, so is he. You can't think small, right? So some people are like 100K in 100 days. Is that possible? Absolutely. I've seen it.
Right.
I've seen it, but you only can go as far as you believe you can go. Right. So I have a program. It's an 8-week cohort where I teach them the game. I give them the blueprint on how to build a winning grant proposal.
I love that. I love it.
So they learn it in 8 weeks. They really learn the proposal.
So let me ask you a question.
Weeks.
This is a good question because I know people want to know. Are your trainings like online? Is it on Zoom? Is it in person? Like, because some people can learn, online, Zoom, and some people take it in person. Me, if I'm online or Zoom, I'm gonna be watching Netflix or Tubi. And I'm like, what she said, and you might taught me everything I need to know, but my mind. So I'm a person that got to be in person. Right. I'm sorry, that's just how I am. But everybody else is different because I know me. I be getting into everything. Right. Just like a little kid, like, let me see what's going on over here.
And attention span is big.
Yeah, attention span is so. And when school called me about my son, and they'd be like, Peyton's amazing. He's so smart, but I can say one thing and he's over here in another world. I can't even say nothing because he get it from his mama.
Honest. He get it honest. So my cohorts that I do the boot camps, the 8-week programs, they are on Zoom, but it's very interactive. So I'm asking you questions. I'm asking you, hey, if you got that, put a 1 in the chat. If you do this, I want them to be engaged. I'm saying go to your workbook. Do this. What did you get? And then just me, I want to over deliver all the time. I want to over deliver. Yep. So, I throw in an in-person. Hey, meet me here. I'm going to be here all day. We're going to hash it out all day. I'm answering your questions right here in person live with you. That's not a part of the camp, but I do that, Right. Or I tell them, hey, I give them my number. Call me. If you get stuck, call me so we can work through this together so I can see where you're at, because everyone is not a writer. And
I love that you do give them the opportunity to be able to call you, text you, write you, email you, because some people let students, oh, sure, email me, text me, and they don't never respond to them. So to have that response rate and time at 100% is one thing that can help you, keep your clients flowing in, to keep your students flowing in, and help you go and grow to that next level. Because one thing I've learned in this economy that we're in right now, we're in a real economy. We ain't in the economy that we was in a couple of years ago where everything was good and everybody was rich. Everybody thought they had it, but and one thing when you just throw out PPP, now some people got PPP, and I understand that some people that got PPP never had that type of money in their life, so they did take the money and try to invest in a business, and the business succeeded up until the now, until the funds ran out.
They didn't have the business acumen. They didn't have the business hustle. They didn't have the fundamentals, right? So they tried up to what they could do, but they only knew what they knew.
Exactly.
They only knew what they knew.
And I know I started a business at zero.
Right. Me
and
too.
I worked my way to where I wanted to be at. I didn't go get a bank loan. Didn't go get an investment loan. Matter of fact, at the time, I didn't even use credit for anything. Still, to this day, every car I own is not financed, period. I got a title to every vehicle that I own. And that's just, by choice, because I always put myself in a predicament as if bills pile up, like at least I can say I don't have these cars. I don't have to worry about nobody taking this, or you know what I'm saying? Like, if I got this one overhead to worry about, if I got an Uber Eats, if I got a DoorDash, if I got a Grubhub, if I got a what all the other stuff is they got an Instacart, even though I might walk around Publix and eat out of grapes.
You were laughing at me when I got lost when I tried to Uber.
But as a business owner, as a hustler, you will do whatever it takes.
You gonna do whatever it takes
to maintain your baby. Like, that's just like my son. If he needed diapers and I couldn't afford, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get
my
that
kids
diaper.
Ain't going without.
That Similac, whatever I need.
They cannot go without.
They can't. And whatever it takes for you to do for your business, you do that same exact thing. And that's why I want our ladies to know. If you do that same exact thing, maintain, let it multiply, put your business in front of you and understand your business is your baby. Mm-hmm. You have to birth it. You have to grow it. Because when you birth it, that's what comes first. But during birthing is a growing season. You have to grow that baby. It takes money to make money. And when you have a baby, it takes money to maintain the baby. You need to say
that again.
People don't understand bar. It takes money to make money. So you have to invest. Invest is the new flex. It's not just, hey, let me show you this latest watch, this latest bag I have, these hottest shoes. Like, Gucci Louis already rich.
Is it making me some money?
And it took me a long time to learn that, because when I first started getting money, I tell anybody, when I first started getting money, oh, I was tearing up Gucci, Louis, Saks, Prada, Phillips. Hey, it is what it is. I got it. I'm having it because you want everybody to know you having it.
Right.
Now I'm in a mindset, you ain't got to know nothing. You can, because one thing I've learned in life, whether you're doing good or if you're doing bad, they still gonna talk about you, baby. So I don't have to show anyone anything, and I don't have to explain anything. If God given me the wisdom and knowledge to maintain and to use that to multiply, I can't do nothing but grow.
Yeah, and for me, it's more so because I know we're in like this era of social media,
right?
Where, you know, if you don't post it, it's not happening, it's not real, or whatever. But like, you know, it's real life outside of social media. You know, there's real life. You know, like, you know, it's a lot of this. What do you call it? Like Insta famous and all this stuff like that. You know, and people thinking, you know, because they're posting all the time on live all the time, that they have emotion or having something, and them people depressed. They going home to their apartments. Nothing wrong with an apartment or whatever. They don't own nothing. They don't have no business. You know, and they trying to trick you out your money. You know what I'm saying?
Half of them sleeping on the floor.
Yeah.
And half of them ain't even own an apartment. Half of them living in a life of CPNs.
Misery.
Other people's identities. Hey, get yourself together first.
You gotta focus on
you.
Self. You gotta focus on self,
right?
Like, and you won't know. A lot of people that have things you will not know. Like, I ain't never posted. I've never posted my house on social media, and I'm not going to. Like, you don't need to know where I live. You don't need to know how I'm living.
But I'm glad you said that, because I had to outgrow that stage, because the industry, when I first came in 2016, it was all about flexing, showing what you got, what you doing, how you got it, you know. So that's what I grew up in, you know. But the older I got, the wiser you get. And one thing I always tell people, Solomon asked God for is wisdom. With that wisdom, you can't do nothing but use it to multiply, use it to grow. And wisdom can allow you to supply anything that you need. So with age comes wisdom. And I got the wisdom to understand now, I don't gotta show you nothing. Don't worry about what Lex doing, what Brows and Beauty doing, what Bossing Up with Lex doing, what any of my businesses.
I'm gonna do the things
I'm gonna freeze it at that, because y'all don't know all the businesses. But eventually you will learn those. But, you know, everything ain't meant to be in front of everyone's eye, because everyone is not your supporter.
Right, and everything is not as it seems, right? Sometimes people make moves and they be like, oh man, when you were talking, you said Shane Justin closed his business down. Right? But everything is not always as it seems. Like, sometimes you have to make moves that may look like a failure to people for you to succeed.
Right.
We don't know what that man's pockets look like, but I guarantee he's still making money.
He's definitely still making money. But as an entrepreneur,
be the season for him to have a storefront.
Right.
Like, you know, so you have to do the things that's what's in your season. You have to stay in your lane within your season. And sometimes it may not look like, you know, what somebody thinks success looks like, but it's success for you.
Right. And and in life, like, when he went live and spoke on his store closing, and he was honest and he was real. It's not making what it used to make. And I salute him for that, because he's telling the truth. It's not, why would I pay for something that's not making what it used to make?
It gotta make sense.
I'm taking a loss.
It gotta make dollars and cents,
you know,
baby.
If you're taking a loss, you know, sometimes it do take a loss to be a boss. But hey, if nothing's coming in and more is going out, eventually you will go broke. And
don't try to keep up with appearances.
As a business owner, you don't want to do that. You don't want to find yourself going broke trying to supply and maintain a lifestyle that you used to have when it used to be. Everything used to be. Everything used to look good. Everything used to be coming in. And you know, those times gonna roll back in again to where the money's flowing back in.
Absolutely. But
God is really
don't go broke to look like something. Don't go broke on other people's account.
Exactly.
What the hell?
And God is also testing all of our faith right now to see if we trust him or we're gonna try him. And I'm going to trust him, try him, all of the above. Because if God made a way for me to get to this level, what can he do for you or anyone that's watching? He can take us to that next level. So you got to always, no matter what you do, you got to always put God first in everything that you do. And remember, anytime you're going through a change or you're talking about a change, remember the change comes first from within you.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I had to pray about. God, change my surroundings, change my friends, change my environment. Like when I start praying, like sometimes I call my mom. She's a prayer warrior, and then I be like, Mom, help me. How do I know what to say when I'm praying? She said, tell God, tell him to give you the words to come out your mouth. And I just started praying, and eventually it came. But
and sometimes
anything you ask, you got to be careful what you ask him for, because anything that I've been asking God for, it may not come when I want it, but it's right on time.
It's coming.
It's right on time.
Yeah, you definitely have to be mindful of where your help comes from, who is the provider for you,
right?
And put your eggs in that basket, right? And put your faith there, because it's very easy. You see a lot of this, like people putting faith in men.
Oh man, what are you
putting
talking
faith
about?
in men, and I even had to go through that. I can't put my faith in men because they're gonna waver, they're gonna change their mind, it's so many things that can go wrong. But when you put your faith in God, He's gonna always come through. He gonna always come through. He always been blocked by me.
Exactly.
Like he ain't never made me go without. My kids go without. I've never gone without.
Exactly.
There's been many times I'm like, oh my God, like how's this gonna work out? He's gonna work it out. He is definitely gonna come through.
He definitely said he's gonna come through for his good and what faithful servants. That's one thing. And as I end this podcast and as we end this show, one thing I want you guys to always remember: if God takes you from neck bones to T-bones, don't forget about him, baby. Do not forget who took you there. And that's a word from Bossa Nova Lex on Winning Women Wednesday with Brittney White, the beauty engineer. And that's period.